I absolutely hate watching myself on TV. So, I don't know if any of you saw me, I was sitting in the back of the room counting every time I said the word, I wanted to say this, somebody asked that, but I could have said that. So, it's a privilege to be here with you today. I really think it's a special opportunity for all of us in that our event, Vitality, is in Orlando just in about 90 days from now. And for those of you, you heard all the testimonies about events, but I'll tell you my personal testimony. When my mom was in that coma, we had a national success training in St. Louis. And I was just making the decision to terminate her life. In fact, I got the court approval to do so. But we had this event. And so I was struggling with whether or not I went to the event or stayed back with my mother, knowing that I'd only have a few days left. Now, keep in mind, when a person's in a coma, it's not fun spending time with them. This is just talking to somebody that's not doing anything. But I thought to myself, maybe I'm supposed to get something out of this event. I went because I thought, I'm supposed to lead my ViSalus family, excuse me, while I'm leading my own family, right? And I thought, I'll just come and I'll just talk to the ViSalus family, and then I'll head back to my mom. And in fact, that's what I did. So I wasn't able to spend the entire time there, but I said, there's something calling me, there's some reason why I'm having this conflict. So I go and talk to my ViSalus family. I tell them, my struggle, what I'm going through with my mom. I ask them for their prayers. I have no doubt thousands of people gave her a prayer. When I came back, the next visit that I had with my mother, and I'm not saying this will happen to everyone, some of you may be spiritual, some of you may not be, but I'm just telling you, good things happen when you put your mind in the right place around the right people, and you surround yourself with positive energy, and you're focusing on being the best you possibly can be. And I knew that was the best me I possibly could be by going there and being a leader to my ViSalus family, along with my own family. So I get back and come and tell my mom I'm back, and we're preparing for her final days. I share with her my plan, and she wakes up. Now, I got to tell you, I'm a person who believes everything happens for a reason, that there are no coincidences in life. I don't think, had I not gone to that ViSalus event, that I'd have a mother that I'm having the ability to spend great time with today. So, I'll tell you how this story really ties into ViSalus. Today, one of the big things that I was always raised is that the more that you sow, the more that you reap. Any of you ever heard that one? There's other principles like the law of reciprocation. People will call it that, right? But if you give, you get back. The more you give to this world, the more you put into life, the more you put into your health, the more you get back. That's a pretty simple thing, right? The more you put into your career, the more you get out of it. Pretty simple stuff, right? So today, I decided I was going to stop by a local juvenile hall here in Orlando and give back to kids that were just like me, in and out of trouble, right? That just needed to see a rich man and be able to know that they existed. Because where I come from, the rich people, they were like baby pigeons, right? You know baby pigeons exist, you just never seen one, right? So I go there and I talk to these young kids, right? I talk to these young kids that are in the juvenile hall, and one of them was, he's an 11-year-old boy. My son Reagan is 4 years old, and this kid was about the same height, right? In a juvenile hall, and I'm thinking that could be all of our children, because all of our children are at risk in this day and age. So I got to spend some time with these kids. And one of the kids asked me, because it's always funny, I'll talk to CEOs of other companies. I'll talk to grown adults. I'll talk, in our ability to mentor leaders at ViSalus, I get to meet and greet all levels of individual, all ages, of all stages of their economic and career development. So this kid asked me, he says to me, well, how have you taken care of your family now that you're rich, right? And I go, that's a good question. So I explained to them that 727 days that my mom was in the hospital cost my family, which is pretty much me, $1,000 a day. Now in the meantime, my son has autism. And so I've been able to invest in his education, his schooling, him having a full-time nanny, his mother doesn't have to work, and the other privileges that I've been able to afford to him, right? So in that period of 727 days, I probably put $1 million into my family's health. Now, what did I get out of that? I have a son making great progress where, last year at this time, his disadvantages were so tough that, that it was hard to even have an experience with him. He was having such autistic fits. What did I get out of that $1 million? Well, I have a mom that I now have a relationship with that gets to meet her grandson, that I get to ask her, was I such a bad kid? And she goes, yes. I brought Nick and Blake out to take her home for the first time. We took her home right around Easter. And, she was just making fun of me left and right. So I get to have that experience with my mother. I get to, right, that's what money buys you. Money buys you the ability to take care of your family. And so that was the main message I gave to the child. And that's the message I want you guys. When you hear about people making millions of dollars in ViSalus, and you hear about people driving BMWs, and you hear all these things, what it really gives you is the ability to provide for your family, whether it be education, whether it be health, whether it be experience. That's what money gives you. So that said, I hope that that's the key message that you get when you're thinking about, why do I need more money in my life? Because you need to be able to invest when unexpected things occur. Just like my mom's fall down that flight of stairs, or my son's diagnosis with autism, right? You need to be able to invest in your family when that happens. So I'll tell you that health wasn't always my priority though. I think it was Freddie who said, when you're broke and you're upset with your financial prospects, that's when you should be focused on your health the most. But that's when you're focused on it the least, right? Right? That's when you're making the least time to go to the gym, the least time to get out there, the least time to buy the most healthy foods. And that's when you should be focused on it the most. I figured out that equation because I was an entrepreneur. I was probably about 24 years old. I had just sold my company for about $25 million. Because I remember I was 24 and 25. So at that time I was about 260 pounds. I was throwing out my lower back all the time. Any of you ever throw out your lower back? All right? It was so bad, so debilitating, that I would be crawling to use the restroom. And then I'd have to be bedridden for days on end. You know what you do when you're in bed for days on end? You watch Judge Judy. Right? And you know what happens when you're sitting there watching Judge Judy for days on end? You start sitting yourself saying, there has to be a better way. There has to be some other choices that I can make in my life. So I went to the doctor because my back problem kept reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring. And the doctor told me, what do you think he said? Lose weight? That's a good question. That's a good answer. He said spinal fusion. Now, I'm 24 years old. I've achieved financial success, and I'm contemplating a back surgery to have my lower spine fused so I quit having these grueling pains and having to take pain medication. And then the doctor says, well, there's another choice, which was your guys' first answer, which was you can lose the weight. So I realized, wow, I have an engineering mind. I had formal training in engineering. Computer sciences was my passion. In fact, after I got a mentor, I went to a community college, got my college degree, got my high school degree, then went to a 2-year community college, then went to a 4-year university studying computer sciences. And so I'm thinking like an engineer here. Is there a way possible to engineer this weight off, right? And there is, right? It's an expensive problem. So in order to engineer the weight off, you have to be able to buy and procure all these foods, which is really expensive and time consuming. You have to buy, various nutrients. I thought someone was playing me like a love song. You'll notice I have ADD, so if there was a bird flying around here, you just see me shaking. So as an engineer, I start going through all the mathematics necessary. I go onto these websites, they're about losing weight, and I download these flyers, these spreadsheets, these forms. I'm walking around with these spreadsheets and clipboards at the gym, doing like this and then doing this, and then going to my medicine cabinet every morning and taking so many pills that I would get full. And then I'd have to take these shakes that were clumpy and didn't taste good, so I get sick and tired of taking them. And then I was walking around pouring I get these flaxseed oils and all these different oils, and I looked like I was carrying around, watches or something, with all these vitamins. I sit down with my friends and I'd be pouring the flaxseed oil on my salad and taking pills at lunch, and then I'd have to mix in a workout here and there. I got the weight off. There are other solutions than ViSalus to get weight off. They're just complex and they generally taste really bad. So I said to myself, when Dr. Michael Simon and Nick Sarnicola came into my life, and with Blake, of course, I said to myself, we should engineer a weight loss solution that's simple, it's affordable, and that tastes good. It turns out that was a solution that wasn't in the marketplace at all. And we continue building all of our products based on those simple values. We live on our products. There's not a day that goes by that I don't take 8 to 10 euros. I don't recommend that for everyone. For those of you who have had that product, it's a great one. I spread them out, just so you guys know, over breakfast. I use it to wake up in the morning. I use it to keep my health at the optimal level with the ViPack, for example. I've been on the road this year so far. I think I'm up to about like nearly 80 days in the year that I've been on the road. So I take so many pictures and sign so many books that, you know, it's absolutely an amazing experience for me to be able to do this stuff. And I know for a fact I couldn't have done it if it were not for our products and the health and nutrition that I've been able to do. So, these products are designed for us by our scientific research team in order to support our challenge lifestyle. You know another thing that we like to do at ViSalus? One of our key values? Because, you know, we're young. We like to have fun. I mean, most people think, you know, work is not fun. Your career is not fun. It has been fun for me being out there on the road. It's been fun for me to hear about the stories of people that had transformations of their lives. It's been fun to give back into the local communities, to be able to give mentorship, to take the leaders out to dinner. I mean, does that sound like a bad day at work? Right? That's what we built, a system where you can have fun, celebrating, teaching a lifestyle of, you know, of health, of prosperity, and helping people have a better life in the process. Does that make sense? That's what challenge lifestyle is. That's what we do for a living. We get to be healthy, get as fit as we want to be, and have fun at events like this. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about tonight before we break here. Yes, I'll sign you the books or take pictures if you guys want. I just ask you guys to turn off your flashes because, you know, I'm walking around here with, you know, flash bulbs in my lights after an event like this. If you want your picture with me, that is. It would be my privilege. But that said, I do want to talk about the book that I wrote. Does anyone have the book in front of you? Got it. It debuted. You saw Access Hollywood, and that was just a few weeks ago. It debuted at #1. That day, it dropped at #1. And I committed all the proceeds from the book to charity. So I go to Big Brother, Big Sister. Yeah. So I share this with you because I go to Big Brother, Big Sister. I go to Boys and Girls Clubs, go to juvenile detention centers, and you know, and give out copies of the book every chance I possibly can. And I encourage you to give the book as a tool to a loved one that you have, a person that you think, you know, could use an inspirational story in their lives. I'm happy to sign up today. I'll just talk about what's new. When I talk to these, it's funny. I talk to these kids in, you know, the Big Brother, Big Sister program. They always ask me, like, what's it like to be a New York Times bestselling author, which was one of my goals, right? It was because when I was in a court, the judge told me I should be a writer in college, not a writer in prison, right? And that little distinction right there, you know, he was the first guy to tell me I should go to college. And the first person that said I got a skill for writing. And the reason why is because I was begging him for leniency. And I imagine he sees a lot of letters like that, right? So, you know, so I wrote the book because it was a goal of mine. And then I wanted to tell the ViSalus story, to tell the story of my single mother, to tell the story of mentorship, and to give back. So by you having a copy of the book and supporting it and sharing it, you're doing a service not for me, but for, you know, not only the people that read it, but for everybody, because it's creating a lot of inertia. Tens of thousands of copies are out there in the marketplace making an impact right now. I'll just tell you about what's new. So back to my ADD speech here. The kids asked me, what's it like to be a New York Times bestselling author? And I said, what's it like? Well, it took me 5 years to achieve it. So I had a goal. I wanted to become a New York Times bestselling author. That was in 2008. And it took me 5 years to achieve what just occurred last week. Some of the people, I think it was Barbara, that said it took her 4 years, right? Or, you know, you were with us 4 years, your 4-year anniversary. You hear some stories about people saying that they became an ambassador overnight. You hear people talk about their success and they've done it in 30 days or 40 days, and that's fantastic. In general, they're leveraging some form of talent, past experience, right? They're leveraging assets that they've built in the past. But if you don't have those assets built, meaning skills, talent, experience, a network, right? If you don't have that, you could build them. I didn't have any knowledge about how to become a New York Times bestselling writer 5 years ago. I had to learn every step of the way, and it took me 5 years, right? So I shared that with you because if you have an ambition to be an ambassador in this room and get one of those black coats, and it took you 5 years to do it, you know, what else are you going to do for the next 5 years? And in the next 5 years, once you do it, then you'll be able to duplicate that success. I have seen people become ambassadors and become successes in this company that have been with us for 8 years, because we've been around just over 8 years now. And I got to tell you, wherever you're at right now, an event and the training that you will achieve at that event, the inspiration, the camaraderie, the network, the shared experience, that is the absolute solution to do it. And your next event, I believe, is in Florida, Fort Lauderdale Regional. So that Fort Lauderdale Regional, that every single one of you should be attending, driving to, getting all your friends and family to, is going to get your friends and family exposed to an event. And that's the first level of training. And then you're all going to promote to this event that occurs here in Orlando. And your business will be on track to be as good as it possibly can as a result of that little system. Okay? You guys follow me on that? So you need to commit to going to the Fort Lauderdale Regional as the first step if you want to have a big showing and a shot at ambassador here at the Orlando Vitality. So I really want to encourage you guys, get to the Fort Lauderdale Regional no matter what, so that way you have a big audience here and a big group of friends and a big group of fellow promoters that you can work with and get trained at the Vitality event. Okay? Deal? All right, I'm going to sign some books. I'm going to sign some books and take some pictures. I appreciate you guys very much. God bless you. And I look forward to taking that. Thank you.